Somebody's got to stand up for the future. Somebody's got to stand up for young people. And they weren't afraid of telling it how it is and putting it out there. They actually had a pair. The epitome of wastefulness is to have been given gifts and not use them for the betterment of others. And honestly, we find it personally offensive. Oh, well then, by all means, be offended. What's up, people? I thought today we would do a response to the Unicorn Greenwood Corvette race car that I'm selling for $5,000 to a young person under the age of 25. So come on back over, let's check it out and talk about this. So a lot of people have asked me about the mysterious Corvette race car up in the corner. And it's one that was originally a 69 chassis, and it was bodied with that Greenwood racing body in the later 70s. That particular body came off John Paul's IMSA car, and the nose came off the Talladega record-setting nose, and all the parts came right out of Greenwood's shop down in Daytona because he was friends with the original owner and driver and builder of that, who used to do pro drives, William Wessel, or better known as Snoopy. And that particular car won 97 races in IMSA, SCCA, and Trans Am. So it is one of the most winning Corvettes out there that hasn't yet been restored. And he sold it to Genius Garage because he wanted young people to have the opportunity to build it and restore it. He saw what we did with the Riggins chassis Corvette over there, if you want to look at it. The yellow one, of course. Turn and look, turn and look. Anyway, so William was really impressed by that Snoop, as they call it, and wanted to go to Genius Garage, but we're not getting to it. So a week or so ago, I did a video saying that we would sell it, but only to a young person 25 years old or younger, and we'd sell it for $5,000 with the contingent that they can't sell it. They have to restore it, they have to build it, they have to race it, show it, have fun with it, and make more history, make new history. Because if you're only looking backwards at the history of a car and you're not doing anything with it for the future, you probably shouldn't even own the car. But I wanted to talk about the response because that was the most interesting thing. And I think old collectors in the car world need to pay attention to, because frankly, I'm getting tired of people saying that young people don't care. Because the truth of the matter is, even in the first few days, I got hundreds of young people writing me from all over the United States and all over the world, from the age of 12 to 25, and one's even older. And these people, these young people, either wanted to save up to buy it or build it or could restore it or had something to save or wanted to sell something to do it, or were already ready to make a move and giving consent, wrote beautiful letters that just care about racing, racing's history, cars, and wanting an opportunity to restore it. And they don't care about flipping it. They don't care if it's worth a ton of money after that. They just want a chance. And you know what? None of the old collectors out there are giving any young people a chance by hoarding and inflating the prices. That's the point. And I brought that up because there were some other interesting responses that I want to get to. But before I do that, I want to share with you guys a piece of fan mail that I got, which is really a nice pick-me-up. So I popped this thing open, this envelope, and the first thing I saw was, "Thanks a million." It's totally $1 million bill. Can I cash this in for a house? That'd be nice. But anyway, it's fun in the thought to count. And they sent me a Porsche 944 in red, Hot Wheels, yes. But maybe more importantly, they wrote me this. "Please accept this 1989 Porsche 944 as a token of my appreciation for all you've done to further the lives of America's youth. The epitome of wastefulness is to have been given gifts and not use them for the betterment of others. Thank you." You know what? I agree with this person. And I think that is a message that needs to go out there to all the people in the car industry that aren't doing anything for the future or for young people. And all the people out there in the collector car world, the Concours world, or the vintage racing community, either saying that no one cares and justifying why they're not doing anything for the future, or patting themselves on the back because they raised $10,000 at a charity banquet dinner that cost $500,000 to put on. You know, I realize that what I'm saying ticks off some people, but I don't care because we're trying to make a future together out there to make it happen. So I want to talk about a couple other people that got a hold of me beyond just the young people, because I've had a couple of, well, not a couple, there's been a number of them. Older collectors want the car, but a couple that was just like, what do you guys not get? One guy will not stop writing me, Older gentleman has a Corvette, wants the car so bad because he remember watching racing when he was young, that he's just like obsessed with the car, and I won't sell it to him. I'm like, sir, you're not on the age of 25. This does nothing for the future. Like, and I kind of just left it alone and ignored it, because it blows me away that I could do a video and say flat out my feelings of what's going on with the collector car world in the future, and nobody cares and no one ever gives a young person a shot, and they only care about money and hoarding things. And then I got some guy out there doing just that. It's like, what do you not get about the video? And then one other time I had a man call me up and was like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm calling about the Greenwood Corvette. And I'm thinking, yeah, you're not under the age of 25. And I said to this man, he's talking, yeah, it's a real neat car and I think it's great. I got a bunch of Corvettes. I love doing it. And I said, sir, may I ask you how old you are? And I think the guy was like 60 or something like that. He's like, well, we got 6 Corvettes and I got 2 sons. They're real keen on this. I said, well, sir, to be honest, sounds like you guys are okay with cars, and this is supposed to go to a young person to help forward the future. Well, I got 2 sons and they're involved. And I'm thinking to myself, then why aren't they calling me? And I'm no math magician, but if you've got 6 Corvettes and 2 sons, that's 2 Corvettes for each one of you. You're not getting that. It's going to a young person for the future. But there was somebody that wrote me that I think most embodies this last thing, that was just smart. When these older guys that are trying to hoard the car and steal it away to put in their dumb collection because they think it's worth something, I'm just like, wrong answer, pal. But a guy I know, it's actually a police officer, in the military as well, he wrote me and said, you know what, Casey, I would buy that just to give young people the chance to work on it. And I'm thinking, right answer. Because somebody out there got it or took it a step further, that they could volunteer their time or money or effort to put things together to use something like that to create a bigger, meaningful impact for the future and mentor young people, lots of them, with the opportunity to restore it, drive it, have fun with it, and further our car culture to the future. That's the right answer. And I told him, I'm like, look, I don't know what's going to happen with this, and I don't know what you're doing, but I tell you what, if you put the sponsors together to have a place to do this, I'll help you out with getting tools and all. I'll send you the yellow Corvette for you guys to do it. We'll open another Genius Garage. So have at it. Meanwhile, right now, there's people down in Columbus that actually want to open up a second Genius Garage that are giving it a shot. Anybody else out there want to do something? Because this works. It's about not just collecting cars and hoarding them for yourself. It's about making the culture we love in the past matter to the future. And on that note, relating to the response, I think this is fascinating as well. ClassicCars.com, I got to give them a lot of kudos. They shared my video an hour after it came out, found it, believed in the future, and they weren't afraid of telling it how it is and putting it out there. They actually had a pair. So I was kind of impressed by them. I feel like ClassicCars.com actually wants a future. By the way, I'm not sponsored by them in any way. Just wanted to say that. But there was another vintage, like sport type publication, you know what I'm saying, that could share this, and we're going to, and they agreed to, and a week later they didn't share it, and the thing came out they were supposed to put it in, and somebody I know calls them up and says, well, why not? And they said, well, after reviewing it, we found that our sponsors, our readers would potentially take offense to it, and honestly, we find it personally offensive. Oh, well then. Let's think about that. Okay, so what did I do in that video that was so offensive? I said that I'm going to sell this valuable old Corvette with a bunch of history to a young person that would do something with it for peanuts because I care about the future. I said that I didn't like auctions. I said that I didn't like price inflators. I said that I was sick of private equity people and wealth manager getting cheap loans so they can buy a bunch of cars and hoard them and try to beat the inflation curve. And I said that they're not real car guys and they're not doing anything for the future. And I pointed my finger and yelled angrily that you're ruining the future of cars by inflating the prices beyond belief and destroying it for young people in the future. And that offended them. Okay. So let's think about why that would offend them. One, I'm either way off the mark and what I'm saying has no basis in reality. Or that hit a little too close to home. And if it did, then by all means, be offended. Because right now, you're just taking on that haughty air of thinking that you're doing something for the future. You're not. Would you like me to tell more of how you're not? Because I know where you guys have hidden all the bodies. And I know where you all pat yourselves on the back for false charities. And I know all the political garbage that I and Genius Garage have had to go through all of these years. All the while, I've just been trying to forward the careers of young people and help the vintage car culture. So by all means, be offended. Don't share it. The future's still going to go on without you. So I was very frustrated, and I know that's very negative. And I know that, oh, Casey, you're being awfully confrontational. Yeah, it's called being a leader. It's called bringing the future forward to something. And I don't really care if old Corvette collectors don't like me, because I have the opportunity with young people to do something for the future, and that's what matters more. And that's why it mattered so much to me when that friend of mine reached out and said he would want to get behind funding, doing something to teach young people and have a big impact. So there's so many great young people I was considering to buy this, talking to him about maybe doing something somewhere else. And, you know, really, it meant so much that this person wrote to me. And there's been some other people that have shared some things with Genius Garage and donated. Thank you very much for Genius Garage. But it means so much. And the thing I love about YouTube and you all listening right now on the internet is you guys all get it. And now we have a voice. We can go somewhere for the future. It isn't just a bunch of cronyism in magazines and stupid inner circles that ruin things. Even though those people are going to hate my guts right now. But honestly, who cares? And I know I'm frustrated and it's night here, but I've just been really excited about the outreach of so many awesome young people that want to like work with their hands and do something and build a better future. And you know what's even cooler than that? I got to tell you guys, there's been a few people that have reached out to me, I kid you not, wanting to sponsor a kid to build a car like that or help them buy it or help donate to Genius Garage. Random people out there in the world that have no tangible return, don't get to have the car, probably never going to drive it. They just want to see a young person do something with it. How incredible is that? And for all the collectors out there that have a good heart, they're probably a little miffed at me right now because they think I'm beating up on older people, but I'm not. I'm just beating up on jerks. They happen to be collectors that are older usually. Some are young. But anyway, the other thing that's so fascinating is if there's anybody out there that you want to see your awesome vintage or collector or racing car go to an amazing home, and you're willing to sell it for something reasonable to young people and forget about this because maybe nobody you know is going to be interested in it for you to pass it on to or something like that, then reach out to me. I've got a giant list of amazing young people that want a shot. They're not super wealthy people that go to auctions. So we can do something with the car world together. And thank you guys all for letting me be fiery about this and kind of pick a fight out there. But somebody's got to stand up for the future. Somebody's got to stand up for young people. And otherwise, what's going to happen? The bubble's going to burst, all the cars are going to tank, and no one young's going to care. But all these great old cars have valuable lessons to teach for the future and can do something. So that's that. I'm not going to apologize for message because it's honest and it's true and it's heartfelt. And if you want to beat up on me for being rough around the edges and a little coarse on this, sorry, man, I really don't have time for that. I'm too busy trying to make things better for the future. Beyond that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, that you will share it, like, comment, and naturally subscribe. I'll keep thinking about it. If you young people are still interested, send in your application to Genius Garage at hotmail.com and write about who you are, how old you are, where you're from, how you want to buy it, what you're going to do with it, and why you want it. I'll catch you guys next time.